Hey ladies, if you knew how far some people will go to destroy you, or how much some people will go out of their way to make you hurt, you would take your self-preservation a lot more seriously. So let's get into it today. Naturally, people want to see the pretty girl suffer. People have a weird, sadistic, subconscious kink when it comes to beautiful women and pain because they think your life is cookie cutter, perfect, and you've never seen trauma or trouble in your life. They want to be the ones to inflict it. No matter how much effort they put into destroying you, you should never show outwardly that you're phased. But I want to start off by saying that it is a skill. An absolute skill to be able to be stoic and unmoved in the presence and in the face of your enemies. I have been this person my entire life because I grew up in toxicity and in trauma, and I've also dealt with bullying and harassment in school. So I have naturally created this persona of no one can get to me, I'm Teflon, and things will just ricochet off of me. Of course, behind closed doors, you process it how you process it. But in the face of the people actively trying to ruin my life, they will never know that their efforts are working because half the time, mentally and spiritually, I'm working overtime to undo the things that they're trying to inflict onto me. So what are some examples of people trying to make you suffer? On the workplace, it looks like sabotage. Your boss may set you up for failure so that they can make you look bad in front of the higher ups. They may smear your name. So smear campaigns are very popular in workplaces. They love to create lies. They love to create stories and get other people to hop on bandwagon. That's what a lot of low vibrational, insecure, and threatened people do. They love smear campaigns because it helps to destroy your character and destroy your reputation. And it also validates their sick, twisted mind because other people are hopping on the bandwagon with them without checking the facts, without asking you first. They're just recruiting haters to go along with their plot and scheme. And they also love to retaliate. So a lot of abusers in the workplace love to retaliate against you if you stand up for yourself, if you advocate for yourself. God forbid you go to HR, it's on and popping. These types of people love to retaliate against you because they know that it will lead to you eventually getting disciplinary action taken against you or getting fired. So these are the types of people that like to do these things in the workplace setting. When it comes to toxic men enjoy belittling you. They enjoy emotionally and psychologically abusing you, some even physically. They like humbling you. They like gaslighting you to make you question your own sanity. That's their dominion. That's what they like to play in. What you have to understand is as gorgeous girls, as beautiful, pretty women, you attract some men who, because they may feel inferior to you deep down, their goal in getting with you is to bring you down a couple of notches. For some of them, they may have come into it with pure intentions. Maybe they saw your beauty and they got to know you and they fell in love with your personality, but then you just became too much. They get overwhelmed, they get intimidated, they get threatened, and then they act like a bitch. They act like a woman would. And then now all of a sudden, this man that you're sleeping next to is your biggest enemy. He's doing everything in his power to make you doubt yourself, to make you hate yourself, to make you question your own beauty, question your sanity. He's triangulating you with other women to get you to focus outwardly instead of focusing on yourself and continue to pour into yourself. These are the things that they do because they want to see you suffer. A lot of weird, narcissistic, sociopathic men love doing this to beautiful women because it feeds this like weird, evil demon in them. I personally feel like a lot of these men get a kick out of hurting you because they want to be the one to hurt the pretty girl, the pretty woman in their life. They want to be the one to break your heart. They know that if they leave a lasting impact on you, you will always think of them, even if it's in a negative way. And narcissists are so sick that they will damage you and destroy you just so that you will never forget them because you have left lasting impacts and imprints on their life, probably in positive ways. Okay. But because they're threatened by those things that you have, instilled in them, the things that you've poured into them, because they feel inadequate, because they know deep down they're not deserving, they're going to self-sabotage by hurting you in immense and crazy ways so that you will be impacted by them for a lifetime, but just in a different way. And so this is why it is so important to be aware of men out here who get with beautiful women and are serial cheaters and serial abusers, because a lot of them have an agenda, which is my mommy didn't meet my needs when I was a child, or mommy hurt my feelings, or whatever their mama issues are, and they want to enact their rage fantasy onto you. Very dangerous. And finally, I think when it comes to fake friends, I have seen time and time again that beautiful women end up in friend groups where they are being berated. They are being isolated by these friend groups. There's people within the friend group that set them up. Like, I've heard so many stories about women being set up by their own friends, set up to get jumped, set up to get robbed, set up to get raped. I've even heard trafficking stories. Like, you can go on TikTok and just look up beautiful woman trafficking or beautiful woman friends set me up. And you will see people tell you stories about their friend who they thought was their girl, putting them in harmful situations because they were jealous or because they were threatened or insecure. A lot of your fake friends want to see you suffer. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you thriving. They want to see you hurting and in pain and going through it. And so sometimes when the hate overcomes them, they'll do things like setting you up in whatever capacity. I've also seen more extreme instances of people lacing the devil's lettuce, putting, things in people's drinks, doing things to harm people psychologically through substance, which is so dangerous and so scary. Like, I'm even getting chills just thinking about that there are some people out here who are so hell-bent on destroying beautiful women that they would do something with a chemical substance to potentially destroy someone's life or someone's mental state. It's very scary out here. But these are just kind of some of the extremes. I want to get into why it's so important to never let people see you sweat. When I was in college and I was going through the biggest smear campaign of my life, after I had removed myself from a toxic friend group, I remember I was very popular, but for the wrong reasons. So people were always seeking me out. People always wanted to be in my space. People always wanted to stare at me. But it was because they wanted to see if the effects of the smear campaign were working. There were people who I didn't even know who would watch me walk across the lawn of campus or watch me when I get in the caf and start whispering and talking to their friends. People who would see me in line and get in the same line as me just to get close enough to see if there's any sort of physical manifestation of their hatred towards me vibrating or showing off in my face, in my body, or in my energy. But one thing I knew from even before going to college, because I had dealt with hateful people before, is that they're always looking for chinks in your armor. Hateful people are always looking for your Achilles heel. I've never been the type of person to ever let my outward depict what's going on inside of me. I've never ever been that type of person. I think I have always used my femininity, my beauty, and my fashion as a way to protect myself. It's always been like my armor. And so no matter what was going on with me, the outfit was always tea. The hair was always tea, the face, the skin, the makeup. It was always giving, I don't look like what I'm going through. So that even can piss some people off more because they feel like their efforts aren't working. So sometimes they even turn it up a couple of notches more. But when I'm out in the public, you will never get the satisfaction of seeing me sweat. You will never get the satisfaction of seeing me hurting, even in certain job environments. Like, I remember I was being sabotaged by my manager. Whenever I would be in meetings with her, or if, I was around her, I never made it look like I was bothered by her efforts. I always came in smiling, looking good, and looking unbothered. And when I tell you, that is like their worst nightmare. They want to see you suffer. They want to be able to see it with their eyes. And if they can't, it just makes them want to go even harder. These people are just relentless. They're insatiable and they're insufferable. And they're battling with demons. And instead of them healing and working on themselves, they want to attack you because attacking you is easier than looking in the mirror. So ladies, drop that in the comment section. Let me know, how do you deal with people who are trying to make you suffer? What are some strategies that you guys use to protect yourself? And how do you not let people see you sweat? I'd love to hear your comments down below. I'll also be leaving my email in the description box so you can share any stories that you have with me there as well. Have a lovely day, ladies.